Called catacombs, and they're called ovens. This is the forerunner of the mausoleum that all of you know today. Mausoleum way down there, two of them peeping out over here. If you go in there, you're going to last longer. You're not going to last too long out here. And as you can see, these are all family tombs, and you see some of the tablets have fallen off. One winter day, I was standing in here and I was talking, and one of the tablets fell out. As you can see, they're falling apart. And it made such a sound, all of my people ran up to sit. And in New Orleans, if something looks bad, it's not bad, it's good. You know, everything, something good comes out of everything bad. So we say, I said, what did you run for? I said, it's a bad omen. I said, not New Orleans, that's a good omen. The Lord is telling you, come out and see me sometime. So these are wall balls, and as long as you have the deeds of titles to this, you can bury forever and forever. The difference is, now if you go farther down, you're going to see they only fit about 8 names on here. This is different because the bones go to the back. So eventually it gets filled in the back. So what happens, Aunt Sally dies, it still has to be a year and a day, but they eventually say, let me see if we can get her in there. So they open it up and they say, no, there's too much in the back. Now this is where people, you're shaking your head. This is where people frown down upon us. Say, well, what can I do? I want to keep this. This is a cheaper way of burial. So they'll say, well, what you can do, first of all, you can seal the tomb. Put sealed across here. Too many in the family own the tomb. You can never seal it. But anyway, seal the tomb off. Nobody can go back in. Or you can clean your tomb out. Now, we don't clean it out and throw the people, throw it away. We go 5 minutes into Metairie, find a little place in the ground, buy that little plot, come here, they take a big wooden box, take them all out, put them in the box, go there and put them in the ground, and you start all over again. Over here.
Are those sealed behind you?
No, it's just that they put this here because everything's falling apart. And we have a lot of people that are with the cemeteries and they restoring the tombs because really the cemetery would like to take the tombs away if they can. But I mean, the minute they say that, they wanted to put a street through a cemetery, you should have seen the women were out there. I mean, you'd have to kill the women in order to put that street through.
Was the flood in here?
But anyway, there's something I want to tell you that you've heard in New Orleans that people go, oh, I can't believe this. But anyway, it's not in this cemetery. Okay, the earlier tombs were smaller than these, but the earlier tombs in 3 of the cemeteries in New Orleans, St. Louis number 1 and 2 others. In this, instead of just pushing to the back, when they build a tomb, in the back is an opening all the way down the back into the ground. And that is called the shaft. Now, have you ever heard he got the shaft?
Yeah.
That's where it came from.
Oh
Because
my
in
gosh.
the early days, they take the bones out, they put it on the shelf, and they take a rake and push it to the back, and everybody goes down the shaft. So many of the shafts are filled, and many you can't use the tombs anymore. They're really too small. I can keep in the cemetery and tell you many stories just about my relatives. But Marty is waiting. She thinks we're crazy. We take them too long. Anybody have any questions? We still have jazz funerals in the cemetery. Instead of in the earlier days, they carry the casket on their shoulders and the black people would follow and they would make music, or without instruments, they would murmur. They would go, and everybody would walk in single file. Eventually, band instruments came, and now we have jazz funerals. You've seen them on television. Whenever there's a jazz funeral, they advertise on the television and the newspaper. Every jazz funeral I go to, and my family goes to, we are called the well-wishers. So you go to the cemetery, and about a block away, everybody is standing there with the band. As soon as the hearse pulls up with the casket, the band forms on each side. And as they walk into the cemetery, they play In the Upper Garden, Just a Closer Walk with Thee. And everybody kind of slaps their feet to the ground. Sometimes you cross hands. And they walk to the cemetery. The band does not go in, and the well-wishers do not go in. They stay outside. The family comes in, they put the casket into the tomb. When they're ready to go out, when they're ready to go out, the band is waiting and the band strikes up. As soon as you get to the door, there's called the second line. You do not walk in front of the family or the band. You get into the second line. And then they strike up the band and they play 3 loud trumpet blasts and everybody says, get ready, get set, go. and then they start jazzing down the street like, oh, and the same, hoping that the gates will open up and receive this person. Now, the black people in the city of New Orleans, they say, cut him loose. Have you ever heard that?
Yes.
Cut him loose. So you're going to cut him loose, and he's going to go straight to heaven.